What's up, guys? Welcome to Among the Fence, my YouTube channel where I do music reviews. I am your lovely assistant Aaron, and today we're going to be checking out Underoath's 9th studio album, Voyeurist. The hardcore, metalcore Florida band started in about 1997, and then they broke up sadly in 2013, but they got back together in 2015 and released a very polarizing album, Erase Me. A lot of critics loved it, and a lot of old school fans didn't really like it all that much, even though it has grown on us quite a bit over time. But it's still, I consider it to be one of the least of the Underoath albums, and we're all kind of hoping that Voyeurist will bring that back. Everybody wants an old sound that Underoath used to have. While I don't think they should go back in time and reproduce that sound, I just wish that they would bring some of that old school songwriting creativity back into their music, bring some more life and energy, and just thinking outside the box. That's what Underoath is known for doing. That's why they're known as one of the best hardcore bands. That's what makes their first 4 to 5 albums some of the best hardcore, metalcore music you can listen to, even today. The album opens up with the song Damn Excuses. I did a review on this song when it first came out many months ago. I gave it a 2.2 out of 5, I believe. But listening to it again in the context of this album, I will admit it grew on me a little bit more. It starts out pretty heavy. It's got some throwback vibes to their old album, They're Only Chasing Safety. The song for them was basically a release. They had all this just pent-up tension that they wanted to get out from not being able to go out, not really being able to do anything, specifically even playing together as a band. So when they all got together, they put on their stank faces and just started rocking out as hard as they can, I guess. It's got some nice drums in the intro. The vocals are basically what you would expect from Spencer. If you know what I mean, he starts out with each line with some distorted vocals, and as his lyrical lines or whatever get to the end, he starts to clean them up with some clean vocals. The chorus is big and the breakdown is heavy as well. I gotta admit, again, this song has tons of energy to it. It's just a little basic for me. But then we go into the song Hallelujah, which I liked quite a bit. The intro is a little melodramatic, as are the lyrics throughout this entire song. The verse is very vocal and drum forward, and the chorus has the same music as the intro with some backing vocals to it, which makes it a lot better, I gotta admit. The bridge is pretty atmospheric, and it has a decent build-up going into the breakdown. Now, I said I like the song a lot, but I feel like it could be so much better. The song has so much potential if the chorus didn't have such a weak hook and such low energy. I feel like they had something going here, and then when the chorus comes in, it's just kind of a letdown. Like, you just want something just huge. You want something big, like something off of Damn Excuses. It's just, they missed the mark with this song, I feel like. And this one had so much potential to be like their biggest thing on this album. I also did a review on Cycle when it first came out. I gave it a little bit higher rating, something around in the 2s, 2.5, I believe, out of 5. It features Ghostmain in the bridge. It has a really good melody. The verses are drum and bass heavy with a little bit of a synth beat in the background, gives a little bit more depth. The chorus doesn't stand out too much. I mean, it does have a really good hook to it, but musically it doesn't do a whole lot for me. I'm not a huge fan of Ghostmain whatsoever, but I honestly believe that he saved this song. He did so good. He fit the vibe, the atmosphere, the whole mood of this song, and he really brought it to life, I feel like. Because otherwise, all the other performances in this, musically, vocally, everything was just fairly bland and kind of, dare I say, generic. And then we have the song before it, I'm Pretty Sure I'm Out of Luck and Have No Friends. I really like the title of this song, kind of a throwback to their earlier stuff where almost all of their songs were long. It was kind of fun, very different. It starts out with an automated phone call thing where you get this message saying the phone's no longer in service. Then you get a 911 call that doesn't really go anywhere. It's just kind of a very long intro that doesn't really do anything story-wise, it seems like. The drums and bass sound really good in the verse. The vocal performance was kind of meh, but it does grow on you. Specifically, just, I guess, the vocal tone was a little bit different. The lyrics are pretty silly as well. I just wish they had better metaphors, though, because the message in the song is pretty legit. It does come to life, though, with a scream and the distorted guitar in the last half of the song. I just wish it happened a little bit a little bit sooner, it hits so hard and it sounds so good. Another song that's good, but I feel like the potential just wasn't used to the max that it could have been. The song We're All Gonna Die reminds me of something that would have came off of their earlier album, Lost in the Sound of Separation. The vocals are very powerful and the music is almost kind of bouncy, I suppose. Then it becomes really groovy as it goes into the chorus. The lyrics, however, come off pretty angsty, but I mean, the chorus comes in and it hits pretty hard every single time and it sounds so good. The bridge vocals are kind of silly. They're being a little bit dramatic, as are almost all of the lyrics in these songs I'm starting to see. And then we have the song Numb that comes directly after it, which has like a bassy, synthy intro. Then it gets taken over by just straight up drums and vocals. I get like this cringy, low effect thing that happens to them at the end of the lines. The chorus is just okay. The vocals are decent. There just isn't really a whole lot happening in any direction, musically, vocally, anything. The bridge, however, is really good. I feel like it would have been a better choice if they redesigned the bridge and put it in the chorus instead and moved the chorus over and put that as a bridge, because the bridge is so much more powerful, and otherwise the rest of the song is kind of dead. My favorite song on the album is probably Thorn. I feel like this is where Underoath really, they really shine in this song. They really bring back what Underoath is all about being. The verses are very drum and vocal forward, but the drums sound so good. They're not generic whatsoever like they are in almost every other song on this album. They don't sound like something you would hear on the radio like every other song on this album, or even their last album for that matter. Aaron Gillespie just really starts flexing his drumming muscles. He's so good. And you don't really get that sense of that until you get to this song. And the lyrics are very well written as well. They're about depression and anxiety that comes with being stuck inside all day, like in a lockdown. And the chorus starts to get a little bit more aggressive, but it becomes so groovy with a fantastic hook. The bridge has like this prominent water drop echoey sound, and it gives it like this floating kind of feel that mixes really well with the weird sounding vocals and the music. And then we get another chorus and it comes back around again with that water drop sound. Like this is it. This is them exploring things outside of the box without getting too crazy. It's just simple stuff and it works so well. The song that divides the album in half is No Oasis, which has a very atmospheric intro with some echoey vocals. It builds up as the song goes on, and the lyrics in this are very well written. It's a very simple song, but it works so well. The atmosphere is huge. The vocals sound so great, even with the little effect on it that gets a little bit of echo here and there. And it kind of makes you think that's going to build up into something heavy, but it doesn't until it goes into the next song, Take a Breath, which has this pounding riff in the intro. But then, unfortunately, the verses just get bare bones again. It's just drums and vocals. The chorus does bring that intro riff back around. It's a little bit more aggressive, specifically from the vocals, as they get like a more in-your-face kind of performance. The post-chorus is just meh, but the breakdown has like this guitar solo thing going on, which sounds great. However, the outro is so good. It should have been the choruses. I feel like the whole song is something you would easily hear on XM radio, and you're just kind of waiting for them to do something different. You're waiting for them to do something different and creative and stand out a little bit more. And then you get to the outro and you're like, oh, there it is, and the song's over, unfortunately. The closing track, Pneumonia, has a Lost in Sound of Separation kind of vibe to it, which I enjoy quite. That's probably my favorite album, so I enjoyed the song quite a bit. It's got some nice keys and drum work in the intro with slow vocals. The first like kind of versy section sounds really good. It's got lots of emotion. It's got good vocal isolation. But then the song completely changes about halfway through. The music starts coming in a little bit heavier with some pounding drums and, dare I say, the best vocals on the entire album from Spencer. The distorted vocals in it sound fantastic. It's got tons of emotion, lots of energy. This song and Thorn, I feel like, should have been the two songwriting examples that Underoath should have went with, because this is a perfect blend of them doing something new and them keeping their old sound and evolving it instead of completely changing. That's kind of what those are. They're more of evolutions of something rather than just complete changes of what a band sounds like. There's some decent songs on this album. I feel like, honestly, everything has potential on this to be really, really good. If Underoath just worked on it a little bit more instead of, I don't know, it sounds like a lot of these songs were written very, very quickly. And I don't mean like they were just written quickly. I mean like they were written and it's just like, okay, it's done. Like they didn't refine it over and over again to try and perfect it and see like, how can I make this riff stand out a little bit more? What can I do different in the drums here? How can I change up the vocals? What can I do synth-wise? You know, they just kind of threw everything together and they're like, yeah, this works. It's good. Instead of just seeing what they can do to improve it. And it's kind of keeping them from sounding unique whatsoever. They've fallen into a box of sounding like everybody else that's on the radio right now. About 80% of the songs on this album are basically the same thing. I mean, sure, like musically it might sound different, but song structure, it is the same thing over and over and over again. We give you a super powerful intro with a thick riff, and then it just all cuts out. And in the verses, just drums and vocals, maybe a bass line or synth thing, but it's mostly just drums and vocals and the same drums over and over again with the exception of Thorn. And then once we get to the chorus, the same heavy music that was in the intro just comes back around again, basically exactly the same. And then just rinse and repeat that through song to song to song with the exception of maybe 2 or 3. They seem to have lost their creative juices in exchange to, say, cuss words. I mean, even lyrically, they sound like they're angsty, bitter teenagers stuck in 40-year-old bodies that say the F word before every other random word when you're having a conversation with them. And another issue I had with this album, which I don't feel like it's really Underoath's fault, I don't know. About 50% of this album was released to us before the album came out. We got 5 singles off of a 10-song album. So we basically got 5 singles and then like an EP's worth of music that we haven't heard before. Maybe like 14, 15, 20 minutes worth of music we haven't heard before. So that kind of killed it a little bit too from hearing anything new from them or anything. You could basically guess how this album was going to go off of just the singles alone. So with all that said, I got to give Voyeurist by Underoath a 6.1 out of 10. I know you guys are thinking that I came off really hard in this review. I mean, even for me, I did because I just truly love Underoath so much. They're probably like my top 5 favorite metalcore bands. But I want to know what you guys think. Leave a comment below letting me know what you thought of Voyeurist and what you would rate it. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to give it a like. If you didn't enjoy it, which I'm assuming most of you didn't, feel free to give it a dislike, but also leave a comment below letting me know why you think it deserves a better rating and a little bit more praise than what I gave it. And while you're down there, leave a comment letting me know what I should review next. If you want to see more of my videos and you want to help support me and my channel, please consider subscribing and ringing the bell icon, especially if you leave a request for videos. Sometimes people don't subscribe, ring the bell icon, and they end up missing the requested video, which just makes me sad. And I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day or night, whenever you have been watching this, and I will talk to you guys next time.
I was trying, ignorant, kid relying on my parents' said to save me.